Welcome to Chronicles of Transformative Change and Impact, where we navigate the path from vision to impact, one story at a time. I am your host, Carol Reese, and on this show, we uncover the personal quests and powerful stories of individuals and communities who are making a real difference. Join us as we explore journeys of transformation, innovation, and empowerment. Get ready to be inspired, challenged, and motivated to create your own impact. Are you a small business navigating the complex world of government contracting? Understanding the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, CMMC, is crucial for the compliance and protecting sensitive data, and it could be the key to securing your contracts. Join us as Brenda Doles, President and co-founder of Healthcare Resolution Services, shares essential insights and resources to help you get started on your CMMC journey today. Today, we are welcoming Ms. Brenda Doles. Thank you so much. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself to everyone so you can tell them why I think you're fabulous.
Well, I don't know if I can answer that, Mel, but I will certainly try. I'm Brenda Doles, President and co-founder of Healthcare Resolution Services, or HCRS. We are a federal government contracting agency located in Columbia, Maryland, specializing in health information technology services.
Okay, all right. So with healthcare, and I know that you've done a gamut of things from coding to staffing and a little bit of things in between. So with the healthcare services, where's your sweet spot in that area?
Our sweet spot is in healthcare staffing.
Okay.
At the Department of Defense, for example, a few years back, we were awarded a $979 million IDIQ government contract at the Defense Health Agency.
Okay.
I would say about 2 years ago, I was just sitting at my desk, normal day, doing my job.
Okay.
And I get a phone call
okay.
from the DOD contracting officer at Holland Air Force Base
okay.
asking about our cybersecurity scores.
Okay. Okay.
And she went on to say that if we could not get our cybersecurity scores, our SPURS scores, into the system in the next 90 days, they were going to be forced to terminate the contract.
Wow. Now, let's backtrack a little bit because some acronyms, because government individuals speak in acronyms. So let's talk and define what is CMMC.
CMMC is the Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification Program that was developed by the Department of Defense to help its contractors and subcontractors, suppliers, vendors, comply with the cybersecurity framework that already exists in the DoD contracts.
Okay, so I'm a small business. I'm a sub to a sub. Does this affect me as well?
Absolutely.
So tell me, what does that look like for me as a sub? How would I even find out about the CMMC certification or what I should do?
The DoD clauses regarding the NIST 800-171 requirements, which are the underlying requirements of CMMC.
Okay. So NIST is some kind of security protocols?
Security protocols that exist in every DoD contract since 2017.
Okay. All right.
Fast forward to 2019. Government OIG, DoD OIG conducted some studies and determined that most contractors, primes, and subs were not following or were not in compliance with the existing requirements that are already in DoD contracts.
Okay. So now, not being in alignment with the requirements. So let's break this down. I have a contract and I want to be CMMC, but I don't know what it means. So help me understand what that really means.
The Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification Program is geared towards prime contractors and subcontractors protecting what the government describes as federal contract information, or FCI, along with CUI, which is controlled unclassified information.
Okay. So basically it's saying, for order for me to do
business with the government, I need to protect their data
as well as your own,
as well as my own. And because we had so many agencies and organizations hacked, so they're putting these protocols in place to help us not only keep ourselves safe, but the federal government safe. So what is your role in this whole CMMC shift because I know you started this a couple of years ago. Where are you now in your journey, and what does it look like for what you're doing now?
Well, fortunately for HCRS, that phone call was a gut punch at the time. But in hindsight, it was actually a blessing in disguise. Because 2 years ago, we started this CMMC journey in bringing our company into compliance. Healthcare Resolutions, it's now what the government refers to as a registered provider organization. So we are equipped to provide advisory and consulting services to other small and large businesses to help them through the CMMC journey. I myself and others on our team have been credentialed by the Department of Defense as cybersecurity assessors and cybersecurity professionals.
Now you did say another acronym, SPUR. S-P-U-R?
SPRS. Which is the Supplier Performance Risk Scoring System.
So what is that?
And the SPURS system is where the government houses, the federal government houses a company's cybersecurity scores. And this is where scores are housed. And if you are not in the SPURS system, when it comes time for contract award, you will not be eligible for contract award. As of December 2025, the final rule, CMMC rule, passed. 60 days later, the requirements become effective. So we can start to see these requirements coming up around March, April 2025. If you are not in the SPURS system, the scores are not in the system, a senior officer of your company must affirm.
You would tell me that was the government contracting scoring system. And so now, if you're not in compliance, then you won't be able to do government contracting. Is that for people entering the government contracting space as well?
The applicability is for all new DoD solicitations being issued as of first quarter fiscal year 2025. This applies to all contracts, new, any IDIQ contracts that you might have, where you may have an order that's coming up for renewal. These requirements will be attached to those renewals.
All right. So now in this role, not only are you helping businesses become compliant, you're educating them as well. So what are you finding that's happening in the contracting world when it comes to the CMMC protocol?
What I find is that most CEOs, most entrepreneurs are resistant to the requirements. This process has been in rulemaking for almost 5 years. It's been a long time in the making, but the final rule has passed. The law has passed. The requirements are here. I believe they are here to stay. And the sooner folks get on board, the better. There are only a little over 1,000 cybersecurity professionals across the country. I'm sure we all understand the laws of supply and demand. So the longer you wait, the more the resources will cost you.
Why do you think there's a resistance to this? Do people not believe it's enforceable? They believe something else is going to go on, but they believe what they have is adequate?
They believe what they have is adequate. The issue is if you have a government contract, you have FCI. If you have a contract with DoD right now as we speak, you're already on the hook to meet those 110 basic requirements that's been in your contract since 2017.
Didn't read the contract, though.
However, with CMMC, latest revisions of the framework has lowered the bar for contractors. For example, there's a 4-year phased-in approach. Level 1 is the minimum requirement that has to be met, and there's 15 basic requirements, most of which, as responsible entrepreneurs, we are already practicing.
Because you're getting in things that help protect you anyway. You're trying to get protocols set up, changing your passwords, identifying computers that cannot be connected to the internet. You're making sure that within a certain time period that you're cleaning your computer, and you're going to do those things. Now, one of the things that I have noticed as I'm talking to individuals about CMMC, I still get that blank look like they don't know what I'm talking about. How do we remedy that? How are you helping people who are still unaware that this is a requirement that they need to be aware of?
And that's part of why I'm recording or participating in these types of podcasts.
Okay.
Grassroots reach out.
Yes.
Most of what I see and all of us see on webinars and online and at the conferences are technical discussions that really dive into the technical components of the 110 requirements.
Okay.
But there's also those business requirements that I don't see being addressed that are pertinent to people like you and I that are business owners.
Okay. So when you're talking about business requirements for those individuals who are currently in federal contracting, right? Because we know it starts with DOD, but eventually it's going to trickle down to other federal agencies and even state agencies, right? So as a sub of a sub, my prime may not have told the sub, and that sub may not have related to me, but it's my responsibility to start this journey.
That is correct. That's absolutely correct. If you are working with a prime, the prime contractor should be including the flow down clauses in your contract.
Okay.
Your prime contractor may be required, for example, to acquire a level 3 certification.
Okay.
But because of the information that you or the scope of work that you are performing, you may only be required to achieve a level 1 certification.
Okay.
As an independent government contractor, you as a business owner would want to protect yourself, protect your business, protect your family, protect your employees, and protect government data, and move forward with, at minimum, a level 1 type certification.
So level 1, let's talk about that for us third graders in the room, right? So what does that really entail or look like?
Level 1, again, there's 15 basic requirements.
Okay.
Again, most of us are practicing these requirements today. Most of us have things like multi-factor authentication. We have some level of encryption. We have some sort of badging system for our employees. We have sign-in, sign-out sheets for visitors. You have your equipment in a safe place that are not necessarily open to the public. For example, your printer. Have your printer in the hallway or in the kitchen where anybody can walk by and pick up government information.
Right. Now, thank you so much for sharing that, because I've been trying to get business owners, especially those who've been thinking about or just entering or maybe even be in the government space about this. And so I would love to invite you to another meeting to speak to a larger crowd about this, because as we are moving forward, and this is the D-Day, right? Because December 25th is going to be here. It's kind of like that thing we had to do at the beginning of the year, BOI and something we had to do. If I wanted to find out more from you, how would I get in contact with you, or how would I find out more about this process?
Sure. Please visit our website. You can find us at cmmcdirect.com. Again, that is cmmcdirect.com. You can also find us at LinkedIn. And at our website, we have a lot of great tools and tips. And one of the first things you want to do, of course, is to connect with a registered provider organization, an organization such as ours, and get your gap analysis completed so that you know what process you have in place and what it is that you need to work on.
This has been very helpful. I appreciate you wanting to come and share. I'll have you back. I want to have you in a group setting so that we can have more questions and more information. I'll keep you posted. But let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for joining us on Chronicles of Transformative Change and Impact. I hope today's stories inspired you to take your own journey toward impact and transformation. Remember, every vision has the power to create change, one step and one story at a time. Be sure to tune in next time as we continue to explore the quests that shape our world. Until then, keep striving, keep transforming.